Check out the latest highlights from the Nourishing You podcast. So I would love to hear, I'm sure the audience would too, some really practical tips for improving gut health and your gut microbiome. What can you tell us?
Really, the key ways would be certainly number one, diet. We know from thousands of studies that really what we think of is the sort of Western diet, standard American diet, that's highly processed, so it doesn't contain as much fiber. These other really helpful plant nutrients that we refer to as phytochemicals, polyphenols, that's kind of the technical name, but there are these other very important components of plant foods. So certainly diet, avoiding those processed type ingredients. Lots of research is showing, unfortunately, that some of these additives, emulsifiers, food colorings, etc., can be a problem. So I like to try to boil everything down in terms of just kind of a simple framework for how do you approach something. You look at the things you want to avoid or reduce, and then on the other side, what do you want to emphasize or increase? So you want to look at reducing processed foods, additives, really significant imbalances. We know that sugar can promote the bad guys, so avoiding excess sugar could be very important. And on the good side, focusing on higher fiber foods. So those are certainly going to be highest in plant foods like especially fruits and vegetables that also tend to have these phytochemicals. And really a balanced and diverse diet. So we know from, again, a lot of research that a healthy microbiome depends heavily on getting a variety of these different types of components so that you have this nice balanced microbiome. If you're only eating just a few small select foods, if these are the foods that you like and you just eat them kind of excessively, focus on those too much, you're not really getting the variety there. You're tending to only promote certain microbes at the expense of others. So I would say variety, again, focusing a lot on making sure you're getting plenty of the plant foods. So diet is top of the list. Digestion, kind of under-recognized in research, although in our field we certainly know how important digestion is. It's very, very important for a healthy gut in general, but also a balanced microbiome. So there's lots of research showing that if you have certain digestive imbalances, such as low stomach acid, you're not producing enough pancreatic enzymes, etc., bile acids, so the bile that's produced by the liver goes out through the gallbladder that helps with fat absorption. That's all really important to make sure that not only, of course, you're digesting your food well and getting your nutrients, but your microbiome makes use of these nutrients, and it needs them in the right sort of places, the right proportion. If you're not really digesting well, one of the key consequences is that those undigested foods end up down further into the colon where they're not normally present at high levels. And that can really throw off the balance of the microbes, especially in the colon. So really, I would say digestion is also very, very important. And then probably a third one would be just sort of a variety of lifestyle factors. A lot of it sort of relates to this promoting a healthy gut-brain connection. Stress certainly would be way at the top of the list for a variety of reasons. We know that stress can reduce digestion, so it can affect one of those other key factors. So then it affects how we digest our food, what nutrients we get. But we also know that other specific sort of, whether they're neurotransmitters or hormones that are part of that stress response, they can promote leaky gut, for example. So again, they have another way where they can set the stage for this increase in problems that then can potentially cause diseases and conditions down the line. Sleep is extremely important, sort of the whole picture of circadian rhythms. We know that the microbiome, just like the rest of our physiology, evolved sort of as used to this daily rhythm of dark and light cycles, etc. So when you're not getting enough sleep, you're exposed to bright lights, especially blue light late at night. An increasing number of studies are showing that that can have a negative effect on your microbiome. And of course, then that can have a negative effect on your health as well. So I would say those are really kind of the top three categories: the diet, digestion, and then the sort of things related to the gut-brain axis that are kind of more on the lifestyle side of things.
If you enjoyed this short episode, check out our full library on our NAMP YouTube channel, where you can catch up or learn more. Keep in mind that the information on the NAMP podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical or legal advice. The NAMP is not liable or responsible for any harm, damage, or illness arising from the use of the information contained herein. By listening to the information on this podcast, you agree to defend, indemnify, and hold harmless the NAMP and all agents. Copyright NAMP, all rights reserved.